Question 11. Circle the correct answer for each of the following statements. The area of the right angle triangle drawn below is what? Here's the right angle triangle. It's given you 3 measurements. It's asking for the area. So if you remember, a triangle is exactly half of a rectangle. So to find the area, we're going to do the same as we would do for a rectangle, length times width, but then we're going to divide by 2. Okay, here's the formula for area of a triangle. You may see it written like this, which means the base of the triangle, the bottom of the triangle, times by the height, the measurement going upwards. And then that has to be divided by 2, as we said, because it's half of a rectangle. So I'm going to fill in what I do know. So the base is 24. The height is 10. So 24 times 10 is 240. And then I have to divide it by 2, because remember it's half of a rectangle. So 240 divided by 2. Half the 200 gives me 100. Half the 40 is 20. So that there is 120. It's measured in centimetres, and area is always squared. So I've worked it out, and that is one of my options. So 120 centimetres squared for 1 mark. Part B. The value of x shown in the triangle is what? This one's a little more complicated because they've given you some letters in here. We need to figure out how many x's we have in total. So we've got 1x here, then we've got 3x, and then we've got 5x. So in total, we've got 1 add 3 is 4, add 5 is 9x. So we need to find out what this x is, what the 1x is. So if we set that out as an equation, we need to know what they equal to. So 9x is equal to what? So if we think this is a triangle, there are 180 degrees in a triangle. So all of these angles will add up to 180 degrees. So now this is a normal equation. 9x equals 180. So to find out what x is, we need to get the letter on its own, and this 9 is in the way. So we're going to get rid of that 9, bring the 180 down. It was there first, don't steal its seat. So to get rid of the 9, we're going to change side, change sign. We're going to bring it over here. It's a times on this side, because when a number is right next to a letter, when they're touching, it means it's multiplying. So the opposite of multiplying, when I change side, change sign, is dividing. So 180 divided by 9. Okay. So you could do that in your head if you want. That will give you 20 degrees. Or you could do it in the short division method using the bus stop. So 180 goes in my bus stop, no space left. 9 has to wait outside. So how many 9s are in 1? Can't do that, doesn't fit. So I carry the 1 over. How many 9s are in 18? 9, 18. So that's 2. How many 9s are in 0? 0. So 180 divided by 9 is 20. So that means that 1x is worth 20 degrees. That's one of my options, and that will give you 1 mark. Again, if you're finding these a little bit tricky when you're in the exam, don't spend too much time on them because they're 1 mark each. Move on to the next question, but make sure you return to them and have another go. If you're still stuck, just circle an answer. There's a 20% chance that you will get it right, so don't leave anything blank. Question C. The volume of the cuboid shown below is what? So the volume has given you 3 measurements because this is a 3-dimensional shape. So with area, when we looked at a 2-dimensional shape, we had 2 measurements that we had to times together, length and width. This is a 3-dimensional shape, 3D shape, so we have 3 measurements we have to times together. So I'm going to do the big numbers first because it's a bit easier. So 5 times 3 times 2. Okay, so length times width times height, 5 times 3 times 2. I'm going to do the first two first, so 5 times 3 is 15, and then I'm going to times that by the third one. So 15 times 2 is 30, and remember we're calculating volume, we times together 3 measurements, so that's working in 30 metres cubed with the little 3. That is one of my options here. So 30 metres cubed will give you 1 mark.